Hey, shalom everyone. I want to do a quick video. I'm really tripping out because all the truth is being laid out on the table, and with Yahweh having your eyes open, you're going to be able to see through this, and you're going to be able to dodge the hijacks and stuff. But I was going to leave this alone. I promise I was. But for some reason, I think he brought me back to it. I'm tripping. Like, this is not... This gives me very little relief. It actually makes me want to get out of here this much faster. Because, it's just been hard as a RH negative to even cope in this life, and for me, and all this is just it's just hard. But realizing just how, they are at war against the RH negatives. They are at war against us. And there's a lot of stuff that this video is talking about. And I'm going to go back to In the Garden. Because from what I still haven't fully got it. And the more that I keep looking at it, the more it's becoming clear. But these, what they're calling blue bloods, are these ones that the sons of Elohim, the host of heaven, cherubim, had sex with the daughters of men and created offsprings. That bloodline from not fallen angels. They didn't fall, they came down. But that bloodline of theirs is the RH negatives. And a lot of this is y'all need to really go watch this video. And I know they're all listening. They're really paying attention. I know they are. And they've been doing a lot of wicked stuff, sorcery, with our blood types. And it's astounding to even notice. It makes me sick. They're something else. What they've done. It's sorcery. Messing with our blood type like that and trying to create clones, and the only way you can do it is, it's just a bunch of sorcery stuff that they're doing. So I'm going to get into this because this is crazy, because I don't care if y'all listen or not. I got to get in here and I got to start waking up the RH negatives. That's what I got to do. I got to let them know, because none of them, I'm going to tell you, pretty much probably none of them know. Unless they've been doing what I've been doing and connecting back to our true source, which is Yahweh. He's coming very soon. He wouldn't be laying all this out like this. But I got to get in there and wake them up. Yeah, they're going to be after me. And look at all this stuff. They're trying to... it's crazy what they're doing. It's crazy. Okay, so let me just... they were the RH negatives. The Inquisition wasn't just a religious purge. It was a genetic purge. It was an attempt by the church, often led by the RH negative elite, who wanted to hoard the power for themselves to wipe out the wild carriers of the gift. Today, the persecution is less violent but equally effective. Gaslighting. Society tells these children that their visions are imaginary, that their sensitivity is disorder, and that they need to be medicated to fit in. We numb them with pharmaceuticals to dull the antenna. We fluoride the water to calcify the pineal gland, the third eye, which is the biological receiver for these signals. My signal is still there. My signal is wide open on Yahweh, because his word is Isaiah 8:20. It's wide. I searched for him with all my heart. And he's just like Jeremiah 20 says, in the last days when he ends his people's captivity. He's never ended their captivity, only in the last days. And he says, when you seek me, you shall find me when you seek with all your heart. Yahweh said that first in Jeremiah 29. 2 Chronicles didn't say that first. 15. Which these signals, the modern world is designed to lower the frequency of the human vessel, specifically to neutralize the threat of the Rh negative potential, because an awakened Rh negative population, a population that can communicate telepathically, detect lies instantly, and see, Yahweh's not going to fully, utilize this, but he's going to use Yasharal, and he's using many people in the last days. Because, and we're going to get down to the bottom of that. How this bridge, you see how that picture right there? This is the bridge. So I started a little way back, but I'm going to get to something else that actually connects us to this picture that we're looking at right here. Okay? This is that bridge that everybody needs to wake up to as fast as possible. And I feel like I gotta help these Rh negatives return. And I could, and you know what I'm saying? I can guide them quickly and get them on that path. So, you know what I'm saying? But these elites, they're probably going to be, you know what I'm saying? They probably watch me like a hawk, I guarantee you. But Yahweh, I ain't fearing them. Yahweh, I trust in Yahweh. And, Yahweh could have put me to death a long time ago. I should be dead, literally, to be honest, but I'm still here. I can't even beg myself to be put to death. It's terrible, but, I've been suffering, and I finally know why, why I've had to go through the things I did, and why I've been different. Okay, because an awakened Rh negative population, a population that can communicate to detect lies instantly and manipulate reality through consciousness, is a population that cannot be governed. If you accept that the Rh negative bloodline represents a distinct, powerful, and perhaps extraterrestrial subspecies within the human family, then you must also accept the terrifying possibility that there is a war being waged to destroy it. This is not a war fought with tanks and missiles. It is a silent, cold, and slow-moving war fought in the bedroom, the hospital. When you're having sex, mixing with these Rh negatives. And then the hospital, when they're freaking giving us that program shot to let these Rh negatives pass on through. And then actually, instead of them, they're being disconnected from their source through that program shot. We're going to get into that. That's why my oldest, and I'm trying to tell him, as soon as I caught wind and hear this recently, I've been separated from him for 7 months, and I'm still letting it pass through his ear. Because he's smart. And I'm going to tell you, I showed him. I said, Bailey, this is how you're so naturally good at electronics. Since he was little, he has been able to fix things without being taught. I'm talking anything electrical I had going on, even in the computers, something he ain't even trained in. My mama used to beg him to always, she was on the computer big time on Club Pogo and doing all kind of stuff, running cheats and stuff. She was a little cheater. She cheated her, got these tokens, and she loved it. But at a young age, she'd be like, Bailey, come hack this for me. He's hacked phones and everything. And I'm going to tell you, he didn't learn it. This is before internet, you know what I'm saying? He has a raw, natural talent. I know he's Rh negative. Well, I'm not 100% sure, but He's got the traits. Well, the hair and the eyes is just like mine. My youngest is too, but his hair is really not like how me and my oldest one is. My oldest one he's more, he looks more like me. My youngest looks like me too, but my oldest has my hair. It has that red. It's not all red. It's halfway through it. My hair is long all the way past my butt. But halfway through it, it looks like I've dyed it. But I don't dye my hair. I have like two-tone hair. And so let's see. This is not a war fought with tanks and missiles. It is a silent, hospital and environment. Okay, so it's a war, a slow-moving war fought in the bedroom, the hospital, the environment. It is a genetic war. I can't believe this, that he took me back to this. He wants me to see this. I had no urge to want to look at anything RH negative again. I'm serious. I did not. But now, I really think he's showing me this for a reason. And I'm thinking it is to go ahead and start working and trying to, I don't know, wake these RH negatives up. Or maybe it's not the time yet. Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know it's kind of scary because these damn elites, I know they're hearing me every word. They've known me since birth. They know my whole lineage more than I do. They know where exactly my lineage is coming from. Whether it's from my dad or through my grandpa. Because I look like my grandpa. And like I said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know my dad's side. I do not know my dad's side. This is not a war fought with tanks and missiles. It's, okay. Okay. It's a genetic war. This is crazy, y'all, because it's going to take us back to the garden. But I'm going to study this before I bring that out. And to be honest, I don't really know if I want to dig into this. Like, why? He must want me to. I'm sitting here freaking out about Passover. But you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, let's shut down, Cynthia. Let's shut down. Let's shut down, get ready for Passover. But he keeps me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he's keeping me going and then taking me deeper. What if this stuff could pop off any day now? Any day. If he's going to come this new year, right here, to fulfill prophecy, it has to be before Passover. Passover is April 1st evening to the 2nd. We got, 12 days? How many days? I don't know. But not much longer than 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? Or a little less than 2 weeks. So, you know? This stuff is going to wrap up pretty quick. And it's crazy. I never finished about how Trump was saying this Hunger Games thing is going to be in the fall. In 7 months, you know what I'm saying? Prophecy prophesies that it's going to take 7 months to bury all the dead bodies. There is going to be such a great slaughter in this valley. It's insane. It's insane. Okay, let me get back to this. Okay, the ultimate goal of the New World Order or the ruling cabal entities that may or may not be human themselves appear to be homogenization of human race. See, what they have done is they have took Yasharal's blood and his RH negatives and mixed it with their blood. But see, this is what they're calling these gray aliens. Like they've interbred to where there's deformities and stuff, and they keep on doing it. You know, they have been harvesting our blood. They have been, oh yeah, they know everything about us. They know more about us, our bloodline, than we do. But we know the scriptures. We know the source. The source is letting us know. He wants us all to know this is not just about me. This is not. And then we're going to get down to it. This is the bridge. This is not a war fought with tanks and missiles. Okay, let's see. Okay. They want a standardized, predictable, and controllable population. The Rh negative gene, with its chaotic potential, that's right, its psychic rebellion, yeah, and it's linked to the gods is a variable that want to remove from the equation. A link to Yahweh, not no gods, to Yahweh. He deserves all the praise. It's all about Yahweh. It's all about him. It ain't got nothing. I'm filthy nothing. I ain't nothing. I ain't nothing. He is the best. He is the best. It's all about him. I love him so much. I'm obsessed with him. Okay, the strategy is simple. Dilution. For thousands of years, geography kept the bloodlines relatively pure. So when they say these bass stayed in the mountains, they're talking about in America. They make you think it's over there in across seas, but it's not. The bass stayed in the mountains. The Celts stayed on the islands. The Berbers stayed in the desert. But the modern era of globalization, mass migration, has shattered these natural quarantines. By encouraging the rapid mixing of populations, the specific recessive traits of Rh negative lineage are being drowned out by the dominant Rh positive majority. Mathematically, if you keep mixing 15% with 85%, with 15% eventually disappears. It becomes a ghost in the machine, too weak to express itself. This is not an argument against multiculturalism. It is an observation of genetic mechanics, the specific clusters of star seed DNA. I see that now. Star seed DNA, yeah. Because yeah. That's exactly what it is. But it was also mixed in, somehow. See, Yasharal is copper colored. They are copper colored. And we're going to get into this. And my blood is copper based. But we're going to get into it. Let's just keep reading. Because I can't just yet explain it. Because I'm still trying to figure this out. But I do see that my bloodline is coming, through either Shem, Ham, or Japheth, through Noah, after the flood. It survived. My bloodline survived through the flood, through Noah. Whether I'm Japheth, I don't know. I don't know what I am. I don't know who I am. I just know I need Yahweh. That's all. This is all just, this is stuff that's not even, what's important to me is helping his people return back to him. That's what's important to me. That's the most, anything. That's why I'm trying to leave this alone, but I keep getting brought to it. Chloe, come here. Okay, it becomes a ghost machine. Okay, hold on. An observation of genetic mechanics. Okay, DNA are being broken up. The starseed DNA are being broken up, scattering the power that once existed in concentrated pockets. But the war is also medical. The invention of the Rogam shot, this really makes me mad, was hailed as a miracle of modern medicine. But to be honest, I'm not supposed to be mixing my bloodline. You know what I'm saying? I see that. But, I still feel like I lost a child and my children got disconnected from, you know what I'm saying, their source, because I could have led them, but still, it just might not be their time yet. I taught my youngest for 6 years, and he abandoned Yahweh and me. And my oldest, I let him know. So, Yahweh, it just might not be their time. If Yahweh saves me, he might save them. Because it says in the wilderness he's going to pour his spirit out on our children. I don't know if he's talking about me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know everything. Countless babies. I mean, what he's going to do, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's going to do what he wants to do. I can just tell you what his word says the best that I can, and that's all I know. He's the everything. I ain't nothing. I don't feel like I'm a god or I'm over Yasharal. I'm above Yasharal. You can call me a stranger, put me way in the back. Yahweh knows it. He knows it. Y'all might not know it, but he knows it. And that's what's most important. So, to me, okay, the program shot was held as a miracle of modern medicine, saving countless babies from hemolytic disease of the newborn. And it is a miracle, but conspiracy theorists ask the darker question, what else is in the shot? Yeah. Since 1968. See, it's crazy because they started, supposedly, in 1930s, testing our bloods. They realized all these pregnancies, these deaths. They realized there's these two blood types that's not mixing together. All these deaths and stuff. So they started experimenting on blood. This is their story. So I don't know how long they've known. It could be true. They just started learning. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes sense to me. Because by 1947 or 1948, the United Nations established Jerusalem, the fake promise over there, the promised land. So they caught on to who Yasharal was and the strangers were. And you know what I'm saying? And who these RH negatives are. They have put it all together, and now they're laying it all right out for us here at the end. And it's going to tell you the truth, but it's also going to throw in some hijacks, and then it's also going to try to lead you into a delusion. Only Yahweh can put this together for someone. Okay, so almost every RH negative woman who becomes pregnant has been injected with this immune suppressing serum. It stops her body from creating antibodies. But does it alter the immune system of the mother permanently? Chloe, come here. Come here. Chloe. Does it affect the developing fetus in ways we don't understand? Some researchers speculate that the shot contains biological markers or inhibit biological markers, or what does that mean? Biological markers. Or inhibitors, marking them by, probably tracking them, because I already seen in this video they do track us. Biological markers or inhibitors that turn off the latent psychic abilities of the child. Effectively, see, how I'm so woke is because Yahweh chose to wake me up in these last days and to reveal himself to me and show me taught me what I needed to do in order to have salvation through him and be his servant. And for his people, whatever I got to do, you know what I'm saying? I don't need no position. He knows that. But he is going, if Yahweh saves, whoever Yahweh saves, whether it's Yasharal, the strangers, and then the nations that he's going to make amongst his people, he's going to glorify. That's Isaiah 55. That's for the nations. Isaiah 56 for the strangers and the eunuchs. Yasharal definitely is getting glorified for sure. You know, there's going to be at least two greatest. Yahweh, David, his righteous descendants, I'm sure. And then, you know, and then Yasharal, and then the strangers cleaving to them. And then the nations too, who choose to serve him at the end. Effectively, it's a varying link to the higher consciousness before the baby is even born. The higher consciousness of knowing who your creator is. Not no freaking Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, dang JC consciousness stuff, all that crap. See, I'm anti-JC. CHRIST. Yeah, we're going to get into that down here. Effectively, it saves the body, but does it lobotomize the soul? We're tampering with the very mechanism, the immune rejection that nature or the aliens designed to keep the bloodline separate. They're tampering with it. They're tampering with our blood. It's sorcery, bro. Rejection that nature or the aliens designed to keep the bloodlines separate by forcing the compatibility with these Rome shots. We are essentially hacking the firewall of the species. Then there is an environmental attack. See, I'm going to keep on just reading. We know that Rh-negative individuals are more sensitive to heavy metals and toxins. Is it a coincidence that our food, water, and air are increasingly saturated with the exact substances that degrade this specific biological type? The chemtrails or geoengineering projects often spray aluminum, barium, particles into the atmosphere. Aluminum is a neurotoxin that specifically targets the nervous system, the very system that makes Rh-negative persons special by saturating the environment with conductive metals. Conductive metals. Are the controllers trying to jam the frequency? Are they creating a cage of static noise that prevents the biological antennas from receiving a signal from home? Yahweh is our home. And Jerusalem. Zion. The push for 5G technology is another front. If Rh-negatives are sensitive to electromagnetic fields, then bathing the world in high-frequency millimeter waves is an act of biological warfare against them. It creates a constant state of... us Rh-negatives are already at an all-time low, suffering against our own body that's attacking its own self. Because we have mixed with outside sources that we're not supposed to. And our, our whole body, it's looking at it like everything's foreign. I've done terrible, man. I can't believe it, man. You know what I'm saying? I see exactly what the heck I shouldn't have been doing. Frequency millimeter waves is an active biological war on them. It creates a constant state of low-level inflammation and anxiety. I've been suffering with anxiety for 20 years. I finally got a grip on it, but then it's been creeping up back here lately. Not here in the last month or so, but the month previous to that, keeping them in survival mode so they never have the energy to awaken to their true potential. There are two narratives fighting for the soul of the Rh-negative people. One says that they are chosen ones, the lineage of... That's not me. The son, Gadriel, or I think that's what it's saying. See, it is the son. See, no. I'm not from him. I'm from Yahweh. That's my Elohim, not this one right here. So, one says they are chosen ones, the lineage of the son, Gadriel, sent here to raise the vibration of the planet and lead humanity into a new golden age. No. They are the healers, the teachers, and the protectors. The other narrative says they're the invaders. the spawn of the fallen angels, the reptilian infiltrators. It's not no fallen angels. The spawn, you could say the seed, the bloodline of the cherubim that came down and that had sex with the daughters of men. Bo, quit. And then we came from Noah. Okay, so the reptilian infiltrators are these ones that, these elites, Queen Elizabeth and all of them, the ones that are trying to say they're RH negative, the ones that's been harvesting our RH negative's bloods and mixing it with theirs and interbreeding, causing their descendants to be deformed with the jaw, whatever, just, you know, I forgot what it was called, but this jaw deformity. Who views humans as cattle. Yes, these reptilian infiltrators. See why everybody's saying, oh, they're reptilians, right? These are the gray aliens. They're not aliens. They're freaking, that's what they're actually. See, when you mix, I got it. We're going to get to this. When you mix the blue blood negative with the RH red, you get a dull gray. They are the gray foreigners. Okay? So, this is a narrative pushed by certain religious factions that view the serpent blood as the mark of the Yes. My bloodline is saying no JC, black or white. I'm marked. My bloodline is Yahweh doesn't. That doesn't come from my Elohim. The truth is likely somewhere in the middle. The RH negative blood is a tool. It is a high performance vehicle. Whether it is used to enslave humanity or to liberate it depends on the consciousness of the person driving it. You know, is your source connected through Yahweh? Because if it is, he's going to utilize you. But make no mistake, there is a concerted effort to ensure that the vehicle never starts. The powers that be are terrified of an activated RH negative population. That's why I need to help wake them up. They know that if the 15% ever realized who they truly were, and if they ever learned to use the power flowing in their veins collectively, through Yahweh only, when he's ready, the control grid of this planet would shatter in an instant. It's our frequency. When we start connecting, bro, all these towers are going to fall, bro. Wow. This is lining up with scripture, man. I got to get out of here. Because y'all, I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, she's just glorying in this. No, I'm like, get me out of here, please. Please, get me out of here, please. I can't do it no more. I got to either make it or I got to go. I got to get out of Babylon. Because Babylon is what's driving me crazy. I'm tired of Babylon. I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. I will if I have to, and I'll keep on fighting for Yahweh, but my body feels like it can't do it. Let's put it that way. Okay, so if they ever learn to use their power flowing in their veins collectively, the control grid of this, okay, the war is not for territory. It is for your DNA. It is for you. And if you are RH negative, you are a resistance. Are the resistance. Yeah, you damn right. Whether you signed up for it or not. We have traveled a long way from the sterile lights of the hospital ward. Yeah. Y'all have stolen all kinds of organs of mine. You know, there's no telling what all y'all have done to me while I've been under anesthesia. Y'all was gonna get y'all freaking. Y'all killed my mom and y'all did all kind of horrible stuff. Y'all killing all kind of people with these vaccines and all this stuff. Y'all was gonna get y'all. Y'all playing with your creation, creating your own creation, trying to be a god, and y'all it's about to be over for y'all. So it really wasn't worth it because y'all's life is just this life and it's almost over. It's short. Alright, let me get through this video. I'm just trying to make it not too long. Okay, it is your DNA if you're a territory. It is your DNA, okay, whether you sign up for it or not. Where the fitness first witnessed the biological war between, sterilized the hospital ward, where we first witnessed the biological war between a mother and her unborn child. We have traced the Red River of history back through the mountains of the Basque Country, decoded the clay tablets of the ancient Sumer. And I wouldn't fall for any of this because I'm sure this is and walked among the giants of the Bible. I don't know who the ancient. They're probably talking about the Sumerians, and they're not the true people of the Israelites, the true children of Yasharal. Walked among the giants of the Bible and stared into the cold blue eyes of the royal elites who have ruled this planet for millennia. See, there's a test going on. There's a huge test. And it's a test. It's a huge test. And the biggest test is who is gonna curse Shem. Who's gonna be the ones that curse Shem? Who's gonna be the ones that brought Shem? And then you got who's going to oppress the stranger. Which one of Yasharal is going to keep pressing the stranger? Because y'all have about wore me out. But I'm good now. Everything's just, it's not bad. Every here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I still get it. But you're just hurting yourself, so I hate to see y'all do it, really, to be honest. That's when somebody comes at me, when they talk sideways to me, I already know what's coming next. I've seen it, I ain't lying, probably 1,000 times, if not more. I already know. And they all act the same. Exactly. It's no different. And I'll go ahead and say, look, hey, just don't do it. Don't do it. And oh yeah, you think that stops them? No. Man, I've met some of the most racist against white people. And you know what? So-called black people, I've heard many of them say that it's their own people that will do them wrong. They'd say they're not out here dodging whitey people or the Mexicans or this or that. It's their own people that is doing it to them. Not all whites is like these elites and their propaganda and all that crap. It ain't never been like that. And they'll stand up for Yasharal and get offended just like they was talking to them. So there are some out here like that. That's like for me, like I'm protective of y'all. I'm protective of Yahweh. And I'm protective of, who Yahweh has made the one shepherd. Yahweh's anointed, the true elect, David, Prince David. Yahweh is our Elohim, and he is our king. David is going to be that one prince over Yasharal. Okay, so in doing so, we have uncovered a narrative that is terrifying in its implications, but empowering in its truth. The story of our negative bloodline is not just a medical curiosity. It is the master key to understanding the hidden history of the human race. It proves with biological certainty that humanity is not a monolith. We are not all the same. We are a mosaic of origins, a fusion of the terrestrial and the celestial, the iron and the copper. The iron and the copper. I think Yasharal are RH positive. And they're the iron. But they've got that copper skin. You know what I'm saying? They've got Yahweh. They've got Yahweh first and foremost. So, this is how I'm seeing it. Until later if I decide something's different. But this is what I'm seeing right now. You know, because I ain't never going to exalt myself above Yasharal. No, I don't care how many people say that's what I do or what I try to do or that's what I try to do. And no, I don't do that. And I will not do that. Nope. I have not once exalted myself above Yasharal. I might come in and give you some scriptures and say, hey, you're in idolatry. And then you turn around and you're like, who are you, white B? You know what I'm saying? What are you even talking to me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all, whew, dang, man. Y'all was test. Oh, the test is unimaginable. It's huge. Okay, so we are a mosaic of origins, a fusion of terrestrial and the celestial, the iron and the copper. This copper-based blood is coming from the RH negatives. The primate and the God, and for the iron and the copper, the primate. So the iron and the copper, they're saying the iron and the copper are the primates. Okay, but we know who Yahweh made the covenant with, and that's Yasharal. I know who Yasharal is. And I'm just fine with being a stranger. I don't care who I am. This is just helping me get ready for what's coming. This is helping me. Because everything I was fearing, being cold, what am I going to eat? How am I going to handle the pressure? How am I going to handle the pain and suffering that I witness? Because I am very hyper. I'm very hyper. I'm like probably the biggest empath that anybody's probably ever met, because I absorb pain and suffering like a sponge. And it's painful to live like that. I'm going to tell you right now, it's very painful because you don't like to see anybody hurt. But I'm going to tell you another thing, how I am. I feel sorry for everybody. I want to be nice to everybody. But I'm going to tell you one person that I really ain't nice to, and that's myself. I'm so critical of I critique myself so bad. I beat myself up so bad. I don't feel like I deserve anything. I feel like that I don't deserve any pity. I don't feel like anybody should feel sorry for me. And I've never really felt sorry for myself because I blame myself for how I've been. I've just really beaten myself up, especially these last 6 years. Oh, gosh. I've been through hell and back. But anyway, so let me get to this. Okay, so, and for the 15% of you watching this who carry this rare code in your veins, this journey has not been a history lesson. It has been a remembering. It has been a validation of that lifelong nagging suspicion that you are a stranger in a strange land. And I swear, when I was younger, the way my mind was, and how I've witnessed a lot of RH negatives say, even when they were younger, they just felt like they didn't belong. That they were just out of place. Like, and just different from others. But didn't know how. But I felt like people didn't think the way I thought. They didn't think deep, is what I thought. When I was a kid, I used to ask questions all the time. I used to drive my mom crazy because I was very curious. But I was, trying to connect to my source, my creator, at a young age. I knew, I was made to go to church, but I already knew there was a Elohim. I didn't know who he was. And I fell in through the deception under JC and witnessed things in the name of JC and the other Hebrew name that I'm not going to mention. Probably the God. Okay, so let me disrupt up and for the 15% if you watch this secure the rare code. It's been removed as a validation law. A stranger in a strange land, a traveler who lost their map but never lost the feeling of where home used to be, the isolation you have felt your entire life, the sense of being an outsider. And it's still to this day, like, in this walk, y'all don't know how big of an outsider I feel. I feel like such an outsider. Like, I don't even mix with Yasharal or the strangers or anybody. The only person I feel like I mix with is Yahweh. That's it, y'all, I swear. It's terrible. It's terrible feeling. That's why y'all hear me talking the way I do. I don't enjoy Babylon. I gotta get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't belong here. This life is sucking the energy out of me. I don't have much energy left. Like I've said before, I've lost my energy before I even would come to the prophecy on Isaiah at the end of Isaiah 40. I've done lost it before I even got there. Being separated from my mom, losing my mom, has been separated from my children, got me. I was all I had left right there, and now it's gone. And then I had to deal with Yasharal treat me the way they do, all the time. I mean, it's crazy, but it's all for a reason. I'm not complaining. I have to go through this. There's a reason I had to go through everything I had to go through. And I definitely made it harder for my own self. I'm going to tell you that. I'm hard-headed, stubborn, and I've chosen my own way for the longest time. And I definitely don't do that now. Yahweh comes first. I can't do it because I don't do right. I got to follow him because I don't walk right if I don't. I don't make good decisions. I don't do anything good without him. I beg him to direct my every step. Because I can't do it. Because I know how my wicked little heart gets. It's not like that. But I'm saying, we all still have that stony, stubborn heart. That's why he's going to give us a new responsive heart. Because we all, a lot of people might hide it. Good. But eventually they'll break. And I'm going to tell you what makes them break. Talk about, because most of them are in idolatry still, so talk about their JC or their books where JC's in it, and Psalms and Daniel and all that stuff. And then see how they act. Okay, so the isolation you felt your entire life, the sense of being an outsider, the struggle to connect with the hive mind of society, the feeling that you are vibrating at a frequency that no one else can hear was not a defect. It was a design feature. You were designed to be different because you were designed to be the bridge. If the theories we have explored are true, then you are the living link between the earth and the sky. You are the biological interface that allows the higher frequencies of consciousness to ground themselves in this dense physical reality. So this has to be why Yahweh has showed me, his word before his own people. It has to be. I've I've been reading a lot, though, too. I don't know how much everybody else is reading. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I've been studying my butt off for 6 years straight. Well, it took me a year and a half to read. I had to beg Yahweh to make me read. Because I used to couldn't sit still. I didn't like reading. I never read a book ever until the first time I went to jail one time. Okay, so higher frequencies of consciousness to ground themselves in the dense physical reality. The aliens, the watchers, or the ancestors did not leave you here to suffer. They left you here to serve as the antennas of the species. Without the RH negative frequency, humanity might have remained entirely earthbound. They are going to remain earthbound. Ain't nobody ascending up into heaven nowhere. I know that. So I don't know if they're trying to say that. I'm going to just say that, though. Remain entirely earthbound. Locked in the cycles of animal survival. Never looking up to the stars to question, to dream, or to rebel. You are the catalyst in the alchemical experiment of Earth. You are the reason the experiment hasn't stagnated. But with this knowledge comes a heavy responsibility. The awakening is not just about knowing your blood type. It is about knowing your mission. We're living in a time of unprecedented chaos and transition. The old systems are crumbling. The veil of secrecy is thinning. That's sure enough. The genetic war we discuss is reaching its climax. The genetic war. The powers that be, the dark side of this very same bloodline. These dark sides, see, my bloodline is coming mixed with these dang sons of Elohim. The dark side of this very same bloodline, this dark side, the valley of shadow of death, the covering of the shadow is the sun. That's why I'm anti, you know what I'm saying? He's not my source. Yahweh is our source. Only Yahweh. The powers that be, the dark side of this very same bloodline, are trying to lock down the planet. The dark side of the same bloodline. These are these infiltrators. These are the ones that's been harvesting our blood and trying to mix it with theirs to have bloodline from these cherubim that came down and had sex with the daughters of men. These blue bloods. And see, they don't have blue blood. They can't genetically have pure blood, blue blood, because like I said, the blue and red makes a dull gray. They are, they're not pure. The powers that be, the dark side of this very same bloodline, are trying to lock down the planet to digitize our souls, our beings. We don't have souls. We're not ascended into heaven. And to sever our connection to the divine source. Yep. They want, Yahweh is our divine source. They want to use the RH negative blood to build their super soldiers and their clones while suppressing the spiritual potential of the masses. If you are RH negative, you are the resistance, but you do not fight this war with guns or politics. You fight it by maintaining your frequency with Yahweh, keeping his commandments. You fight it by refusing to be assimilated, by refusing to be numbed by their toxins, and by refusing to be silenced by their ridicule. Yeah, because this stuff is scary. I mean, these are freaking witches and warlocks, bro. They're after my dang blood type. Believe it or not, yeah, it's pretty scary. Like, to know everything that they've been doing and all these years, I mean, this is mind-blowing to me. Every time you trust your intuition over their propaganda, every time you use your empathy to heal instead of destroy, and every time you embrace your alien nature instead of hiding it, you are winning the war. You are activating the code. For those of you who are RH positive, do not feel left out or lesser. This symbiotic relationship between the two bloodline is essential. The RH positive lineage provides the grounding, the stability, and the deep ancient connection to the earth. She ain't our mother. Yahweh is our Abba. We ain't got no mother. That the RH negatives often lack. The RH I'm going to read that again. The RH positive lineage provides the grounding, the stability, and the deep ancient connection to Yahweh that the RH negatives often lack, right? Through Shem, all nations of the world, he's connecting us strangers and Yasharal, and he's making me get in line underneath it. Do y'all understand that? This is the bridge to unlock the code. We are not enemies. I'm going to read this again. I love this. Because I don't want to exalt myself above Yasharal. Heck to the no. Heck to the no. This has nothing to do with that. This is to help me to prepare for what's to come mentally. Because I've really been suffering, worrying myself to death about it for 6 years straight. And it's about got the best of me. So it has, hey, this stuff is about to happen. I really think so. Because Yahweh he's just overwhelmingly throwing everything. Everything's clear. Everything's coming more clear and clear every day. Y'all need to watch this video again. This is actually a good video, but you gotta dodge the hijacks. Okay? Wow. Praise Yahweh. I love you. Thank you. I do belong too. Okay? I do belong. So everybody that's really been being mean to me when I've already been abandoned by my own family and been through really hard persecution to fight for y'all's Elohim and y'all. But it's okay. I forgive y'all, man. I don't hold grudges like that. So, you fight by refusing to be... Okay. Every time you trust your intuition over their propaganda. Every time you use your empathy to heal instead of destroy. And every time you embrace your alien nature instead of hiding it, you're winning the war. You're activating the code. For those of you who have RH positive, see, that's the RH positive and the blue blood. So, for those of you who are RH, see, these blue bloods are white. RH negatives are white. Yahweh is doing this to show Yasharal that we are going to cleave to y'all. We are not the enemies like these elites have taught and tried to divide us.
I will pay for all of your food if you can tell me how many subscriptions.
Okay. For those of you, okay. For those of you who are RH positive, do not feel left out or lesser. The symbiotic relationship between the two bloodline. So they're obviously, y'all have the RH, and then mine is RH negative. So the symbiotic relationship between, because I was wondering if our Yasharal had RH negative. And I don't think y'all do. But y'all are the primates of the earth. You know what I'm saying? The covenant was made through y'all. And, I don't know what else to say, but oh well. Okay, this symbiotic relationship between the two bloodline is essential. See, a lot of y'all think Esau, white, were Esau, when the enemy, no. The RH positive lineage provides the grounding, the stability, and the deep ancient connection to Yahweh that the RH negative often lacks. You are the anchors. Without you, Yasharal, the RH negatives would float away into the ether, disconnected and ineffective. Praise Yahuwah. Thank you. I don't care. I love this. This is incredible to me. We are two halves of a whole. The clay and the breath designed to work together to create and complete being. The trap of the elite is to divide us, to make us fear each other, to make the red bloods hate the blue bloods, and vice versa. The so-called blacks and so-called whites. White, there's other whites that are RH positive too, but they originate from Yasharal RH positives. We're all coming, hold on, let me say this right. No, my bloodline is of the stranger. I'm a stranger. Yasharal is Shem. And I forgot what else I was saying just then, but let's move along. We must reject the division. This is what's going to bring back Yahweh. As fast as possible, we got to reject the division. The true evolution of humanity will not come from bloodline dominating the other, but from the integration of both. So I'm curious. So are we able to mix with Yasharal? So to me, this was saying that. But no. So if the other whites that are RH positive originated from Yasharal, the RH positives of Yasharal, okay? So I don't know. This is too much for me. I'm gonna just stop. I know I'm a stranger. That's all I know. But for Yasharal, this is important. We need to come together for Yahweh. The marriage of heaven and earth. We are all passengers on this ship, but we have different jobs. Some are here to keep the engines running. Others are here to navigate the stars. I ain't navigating those stars. I have no other Elohim before Yahweh. So, a mighty one. Hold on. So, some are here to keep the engines running. See, this is what they said, that RH negatives is like a vehicle that is, can't be started because they're trying to dumb us down, right? Or whatever. I don't know, but hold on. So, I think some are here to keep the engines running. Probably to help Yasharal wake up from their slumber because they're so hard-headed they don't know the scriptures. They're all in idolatry still. Others are here to navigate the SARS. That sounds against the Torah. The quarantine is ending. Yay! 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 The quarantine is ending. I've been quarantined my whole life. Plumb up till today. I'm still quarantined. I'm in quarantine. I'm in a dungeon. But I'm coming out of it. This is crazy. The quarantine is ending. The truth about our origins is bubbling up from the underground bases and the ancient scrolls, and it is flowing through the 5 lines of our hospitals, or the IV lines. Yeah, sure is, ain't it? Ancient scrolls, it is flowing through the IV lines of our hospitals. We are realizing that the missing link was never missing. It was just hidden in plain sight, protected by a biological firewall that is finally coming down. As we move forward into this new age, the question is longer. See, this stuff doesn't even seem real to me. Even though I know it's real, it's just, I can't pull myself. I'm so torn down by this world that I don't find no excitement in this. A little relief, very little relief, but it's just been hard being like this. I never knew why I was like this, and I've really secluded myself a lot, and it's been miserable like this. It was just a hidden in plain sight, protected by, okay, move forward and, okay, into the new age. A new heaven and earth. That's the new age. It ain't going to be no golden stuff with JC. This golden era. It's going to be with Yahweh. As we move forward into this new age, the question is no longer where did we come from. We know where we come from. The question is, where are we going? Will we allow our genetic legacy to be harvested and weaponized by a shadow government or government terrified of losing control? Or will we claim our inheritance? Will we step into the power that flows through our veins and become the king's being we were meant to be? The choice is yours. The blood is yours. It is the most valuable substance in the universe. It belongs to you. Do not let them take it. Do not let them dilute it. And most importantly, do not let them tell you. This is actually coming from them. They're so manipulative. Do not let them tell you it is a curse. Yeah, see, when I told y'all, when I first come into the truth, they had very little about RH negative. Yahweh brought it to my attention. I went and I seen the seed of a certain bit and how these elites were saying they were RH negatives. And they was after the seed, this bloodline to kill them. And I was like, oh man, no, I ain't nothing like them, bro. What does this just say? What did it just say? Importantly, do not let them tell you it is a curse. And that's what I was thinking about for 6 years. Until now. It is the greatest gift you possess. If this deep dive into the mystery of RH negative bloodline. Okay, so that's it, y'all. Shalom, this is it. I'm going to end the video because I think it's pretty long. Y'all have a great night.